What's going on, guys? First of all, numero uno, number one. First of all, Raw and SmackDown sucked, right? Terrible. Two terrible shows. I mean, holy shit. It doesn't get worse than this. I mean, Raw was worse, but holy shit, SmackDown was bad. And usually SmackDown's okay. It's okay at best sometimes, but now it was just bad. What? Oh, man. You know, I get it. You can't, you know, go crazy like you did in the 90s, the Attitude Era. I get it. And if I'm honest, I don't want the WWE to have to go TV 14 all the time, or I get that, all right? Because a large portion of your audience are kids, and we shouldn't take it away from the kids, okay? Of course not. And big portion of the audience in general are kids, and it makes marketing sense because kids want stuff, so the parents have to buy it for the kids, right? So it makes sense. I want a John Cena T-shirt, whatever. Here you go. I want a Roman Reigns T-shirt. Here you go, right? So I get it, but you see, all I'm asking for are intriguing storylines. I'm just asking for good wrestling. That's it. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. I'm asking you to just go with the flow. Go the organic route. Make an audible when you have to. That's it. I mean, they refuse to give up on Roman Reigns. I mean, the utter refusal of the WWE to just give up on this guy. The utter refusal to just let it go, or at least put him on a shelf for a while. Have him be a mid-carder for a while. Have him organically win over the crowd again. Don't just give him the belt just because it's predetermined, because you could determine that and you have the writers to do it. Listen to the crowd. They don't like him. Your stubbornness is ruining the product, right? It's ruining it. Roman Reigns is ruining your product because you are ruining potential stars in the making, right? Being buried just to try and put Roman Reigns over. And it's getting old. You see, WrestleMania 30. That's when the Daniel Bryan thing happened. And if you know, the truth is that they never had a plan to have Daniel Bryan in the main event at WrestleMania. They never had a plan to have him win the Royal Rumble, which would have been the right thing to do. They were forced by the fans to make that happen because they insisted that Randy Orton versus the unwanted Batista, all right, was the main event that should have happened at WrestleMania 30. Instead, they added Daniel Bryan, and it was a great finish. One of the greatest finishes in WrestleMania history. Since then, what have they done? Push and push Roman Reigns. That's all they've done. After WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan got hurt, and then they decided, well, we're going to go the Roman Reigns route. And at the time, I was indifferent about it. I was like, well, look, give him a shot, give him a chance. They're going to give him the ball, and we'll see what he does with it. But he failed. He failed. Right? So I'm trying to think here. They had him win the Royal Rumble when nobody wanted him to win the Royal Rumble. Vince thought he was smart and said, oh, don't worry. What we're going to have is, what is he, his cousin or some shit? I don't know. The Rock come out, and he's going to hold Roman Reigns' hand up when he wins the Royal Rumble, so the crowd is going to cheer, right? No, even with The Rock, the most popular action star in the world today, the highest paid Hollywood actor in the world today, WWE, legend, The Rock, not even he could put over Roman Reigns and make the crowd cheer for him. The crowd booed. They rejected Roman Reigns. They didn't want Roman Reigns. That same Royal Rumble, by the way, they had Daniel Bryan get eliminated. They decided we're going to have Daniel Bryan fight for the Intercontinental Championship, because we're going to do Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. We were spared. It seemed to me like the WWE learned from that, like the year before, right? And, they pulled a fast one, and, oh, look, haha, we made you think Roman Reigns is going to win at the end, but, we had, Seth Rollins cash in the Money in the Bank, and Seth Rollins became WWE champion. Right? And Seth Rollins, being a heel, a bad guy, was more accepted by the crowd than Roman Reigns. And then what happens? Seth Rollins get hurt. They have Roman Reigns win the title. He's the guy. Remember, he was talking about how he's the guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Yeah, you're an annoying guy, right? Roman Reigns, they try to do everything. They try to make the quote-unquote authority do everything against him and just be so unfair to him. They healed it up all they could. And they couldn't make people like him. How could they? The dude sucks at acting. He sucks as an in-ring performer. He sucks on the mic. What is it to like? There's nothing to like, right? Oh, the look. What are you guys, idiots? Oh, the look. The look, really. So anyway, Roman Reigns goes into the Royal Rumble, right? And the whole thing is revolved around Roman Reigns. A Royal Rumble revolved all around Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to face 29 other competitors. He's going to be the first one walking out, right? And that's got to make people love him. Look how unfair they're being to him. And then they think that having Triple H come out number 30 and eliminate Roman Reigns, that's going to just make people like Roman Reigns. I think people cheered when Triple H eliminated him. I think they cheered, right? I don't remember what the reaction was to Triple H winning the Royal Rumble, but it wasn't a memorable one. I know that. The roof wasn't torn off the building when he won. Probably a mixed reaction. I don't know. I don't remember. That says a lot. If I don't remember, it says a lot. And it was just last year, right? And they think Triple H versus Roman Reigns is the most predictable outcome to any pay-per-view ever, right? And one of the most boring WrestleMania main events ever. They think that was going to make everybody happy. They have Roman Reigns win to a sound of boos. They booed Roman Reigns when he won the title last year. And now here we are again. Roman Reigns, who they gave the United States title to a couple months ago and never defended the title, wasn't a champion of the title, didn't have a reign as U.S. champion. They decided, well, we're going to put him in the main event again, and he's going to fight for the Universal title. Another world title shot for Roman Reigns. And of course, if he wins, we know he's going to go to WrestleMania. If Roman Reigns beats Kevin Owens, which is pretty likely, right? I think that there's more of a chance that Kevin Owens wins than AJ Styles wins his match against Cena. There's more of a chance. I would say there's about a 30 to 40% chance Kevin Owens actually wins. Because I see some scenarios where Kevin Owens could face a winner of a Royal Rumble. But the reality is, it's still likely Roman Reigns wins. And who wants to see that shit? Nobody wants this guy in another main event at WrestleMania. Nobody. 3 straight WrestleManias? Are you shitting me? I don't even think Stone Cold headlined 3 straight WrestleManias. I don't think anybody has. Well, obviously Hulk Hogan, but those were the, that was Hulk Hogan, I'm trying to think. Hulk Hogan stopped being the main headliner around WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 10, it was Bret Hart, Yokozuna. WrestleMania 11, it was actually Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taylor for the Giants, actually. Weird. Weirdest WrestleMania ever. WrestleMania 12, it was Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. 13, it was Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold. 15 was Stone Cold versus The Rock. 16, it was actually a 4-way with Triple H, Mick Foley, The Big Show, and The Rock, I believe. I don't know if I said it. Triple H, The Rock, Big Show, Mick Foley, yeah. 17 was The Rock, Stone Cold. 18 was Triple H and Chris Jericho. 19, what was 19? Lesnar versus Angle. 20 was Benoit, Triple H, HBK. You see where I'm going with this? There was never like I know you could maybe say Cena did, but I don't know. Maybe Triple H or something, but either way, here you have a guy that nobody wants. I don't care how many people the WWE pays to go on the network and say, oh yeah, Roman Reigns, yeah, he's that dude. I don't care, right? Well, because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash went to the WWE network on an interview with JBL and quote unquote put over Roman Reigns is a real deal. You know, like the dumb shit they say? Oh, they're just jealous, man. They're jealous because all the women want him. All the women want him, all the women want, Roman Reigns. Look, right? Oh, yeah, they're flocking to him, right? I mean, like have you seen the crowd? Right? I don't see like legions of women, trying to get Roman Reigns, right? Now, look, I don't care, right? I'm sure a lot of these wrestlers, when they go town to town, get a lot of pussy, okay? Whatever, right? But the thing is, that has nothing to do why they dislike the guy. What about the wrestlers they do like that probably, get the pussy a lot? Like, well, what's your point, right? Anyway, we're talking about the reality that this dude is not a good actor. He sucks in the mic, right? Oh, here's another one. Oh, it's all the internet. It's just people on the internet that don't like him, really. Well, what are people in the crowd? The internet crowd? What does that even mean? Everybody's on the internet, right? They're obviously paying these dudes, okay, to come out and put the guy over, okay? Ric Flair, woo, yeah, Roman Reigns, he's a real deal. Like shut up, okay? They don't believe what they're saying, right? They're not over, right? Nobody likes him. Nobody likes Roman Reigns, right? They don't. You see, like, I don't like John Cena. I don't. John Cena's terrible. But I can acknowledge that at least half of the crowd likes John Cena. I don't know why, but they do. You could tell, like, when you look at the crowd, you see a lot of little kids that like John Cena a lot. I don't see that with Roman Reigns. I don't see, like, the crowd really liking the guy, right? I don't see it. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Number one, when you give the guy the ball, right, to run with it, and he's constantly fumbling, okay, he's constantly not getting the play done, he's constantly failing, he can't win the crowd over. When you are the baby face, right, when you are the face of the company, when you're the guy that they hand the ball to, it is your job to win that crowd over. If you can't do that, you don't belong at the top, right? You don't belong to headline the show that Hulk Hogan headline, that the Macho Man headline, Stone Cold, The Rock. You don't, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. You don't belong with those names that did win the crowd over. He hasn't won the crowd over, right? He never has. He was over with the Shield because they were a group. But when he went solo, nobody liked him. Before, he could hide behind Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. When they would have 3-on-3 matches, he could hide behind those guys. And he would just do that spot where they would do the triple power bomb in a table. He could hide behind that. He could hide behind Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, who are really good at the mic. He could hide behind those guys. And all he has to say is, I believe that. But when you go solo, you don't have anything to hide behind. You get exposed more. And people don't like what you're saying. What is it to like about Roman Reigns? Think about it. What is it to like? I see plenty of wrestlers that have more than what this guy has. So you're telling me that Cesaro needs to be kept, in a irrelevant tag team division? Tag teaming with Sheamus, but Roman Reigns gets pushed for 3 straight WrestleManias? I mean, you have so much talent in that company. Guys who are better at the mic, who are far more charismatic. I mean, look at what they're doing with Titus O'Neil. Look what they're doing. It's fucking sad. They have Titus O'Neil jobbing to every single member of the New Day. Why? For what? What is that going to do? It does nothing for the New Day. Nothing. Right? They have Titus O'Neil. Right? I mean, this is the hypocritical nonsense of the WWE. Okay? You constantly hear about how, no, it's the kids and the kids this and the kids that, and that's why we can't go TV 14. We can't push the envelope like we did in the Attitude Era. We can't do that. No. We can't do that, but we could have the New Day acting like a bunch of homosexuals and shit, right? With fucking unicorns in their head, right? We could do that, We could have Titus O'Neil, okay, have Langston, or whatever his name is, right? And they hold, and they have Titus O'Neil slap his ass a couple times. What the fuck is that, man? What the fuck is that? Are you kidding me? What happened to the kids are watching? Well, what happened to that? Are you shitting me? I mean, this is nonsense. It's nonsense. With the right, let me tell you something. With a writer that gives a damn, that knows the business, Titus O'Neil would be a fucking beast, right? He could talk on the mic. He's charismatic. He's big. He's powerful. He could pick dudes up. He could slam them. He's fast. Well, what else do you want? Former football player, athletic. Well, what the fuck do you want? The dude's like a black Bill Goldberg that could talk on the mic, but they don't know what to do with him. That's the best they got. Shit's embarrassing. No, but we got to put all our focus on Roman Reigns. We got to make more Roman Reigns be a cool guy. You know, the dude is nervous as fuck when he's on the mic. You know? And I was like, hey. No, that's got all right? But they have Roman Reigns, right, on the mic. And man, this dude, he's so bad, it's hard to imitate, right? When I was with Shield, we ran this place. Now I'm by myself. And I'm ready to go to WrestleMania. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. But that's okay. No sweat. Me, Roman Reigns. Me the man. I'm the guy. Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Right? Yeah. Whoa. All right. Anyway, who writes this shit? Right? Like, who writes this opening segments too? What the fuck is that? Right? One dude walks out. Fucking, you know, stupid. They always had like that one guy walk out. Stephanie McMahon walks out, and then she's interrupted by Roman Reigns. And then Roman Reigns interrupted by Seth Rollins. And then Seth Rollins interrupted by Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. And they're interrupted. And then they're interrupted. And then Brock Lesnar comes out. All hell breaks loose. Oh my God, we didn't predict that whatsoever. So, unbelievable, unpredictable programming. Like today, right? I was watching SmackDown. I couldn't believe how stupid this was. Right? I mean, you know, somebody, like, who writes this shit? For those that didn't watch it, let me explain the segment to you. Right? So you don't have to go back and watch it. Shane McMahon walks out. And he's interrupted by AJ Styles. Oh, wow. AJ Styles walks out. AJ Styles is mad that Shane McMahon announced an elimination chamber 2 weeks after the Royal Rumble. Which, again, makes me believe that a Raw superstar is going to win the Royal Rumble. Very good job, WWE. Be predictable. Very, very good job. Right? And then John Cena comes out. And while Cena's talking, AJ Styles interrupts John Cena and says, you don't get to talk, and you got a title shot from your brother-in-law. Ooh, wow. And then AJ Styles says a line. You just come out here and you annoy me? Or, you know what? Like, who else is going to, is somebody else going to come out and annoy me or what? And, of course, the Miz music plays. Like, wow. Creative writing, WWE. You had the WWE champion say, who else is going to come out and annoy me? And then somebody came out to annoy him. Wow. Oh, I mean, this writing is just unbelievable. I mean, just cutting edge shit right here. The Miz comes out and then they do this stupid retarded thing where AJ and the Miz are arguing with each other. And then Cena would stand behind AJ and be like, oh, ooh, are you going to let him get away with that? And then supposedly it egged on AJ to attack the Miz some more with words. And then he would walk behind the Miz and be like, oh, are you going to let him say that about you? And that egged on the Miz. And then before you knew it, right, they ended up having a match because they were so mad at each other. Oh yeah, like that's not predictable at all. Like oh yeah, the Miz isn't going to be on in the. I'm sure the Miz is going to be in that stupid elimination chamber along with Dean Ambrose. Okay, I see that coming, and Corbin will be in it as well, along with Cena and AJ Styles. Like I don't see it coming. Like it's just the most predictable shit ever. But anyway, all right. Well, what a stupid segment. I mean, what the fuck is that? I don't know. I don't even know. I just want to know why they're so stubborn about this dude. Does Roman Reigns have something on Vince McMahon that we don't know about? Like, does he have him? Is he blackmailing him? Like, hey Vince, if you don't push me for the main event, I'm going to release all those pictures. What does he have on Vince McMahon? You know, there's something else going on. Now, look, I don't like to get into this conspiracy theories too much, but there's always been rumors about Vince McMahon and certain wrestlers, you know, and why those specific wrestlers always got pushed. All right. He's always had a fascination with certain particular wrestlers, right? Almost always. And for whatever reason, even when they don't deserve it, when all rules of the business are broken for these specific wrestlers, you know, it makes you wonder. You know, I mean, I've never ever, I've like, and when I say this is not just talking. I'm serious. Never in my lifetime as a wrestling fan, ever have I seen a guy who deserves it so little get so much. Ever. Like, I've had my issues with certain wrestlers, and people always spread rumors about these wrestlers and Vince McMahon. But at the very least, there was a scapegoat somehow, right? So, for example, right, Hulk Hogan and Vince, right? Hulk Hogan always had his way. Always, right? Hulk Hogan had a way always of convincing Vince to change plans just for him, right? When Vince wanted Mr. Perfect to win the title at Madison Square Garden, Hulk Hogan talked him out of it, right? He's the boss. It's his company. He can do whatever he wants. Hulk Hogan talked him out of it. Sat down with him and convinced Vince that, you know, you shouldn't do it. They talk, or I don't know, right? When they really wanted to push Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan found a way to be involved in the storylines all the time, right? So it was always like a glory hog thing. Like, he found a way to turn Savage heel so he could be the face and win the title the next year. Okay? He convinced them that that was the best thing to do, right? What else did he do? I mean, the Ultimate Warrior thing, Ultimate Warrior was his own doing. So I'm not going to blame Hulk Hogan for that. But Hulk Hogan convinced Vince McMahon to have him win an impromptu match at the end of WrestleMania 9. It was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Hulk Hogan just inserted himself in that match and beat Yokozuna in a couple seconds, became champion, right? Hulk Hogan convinced Vince McMahon for him to not drop the title to Bret Hart because he didn't want to pass the torch. Okay, now all these things are true, and Hulk Hogan always got his way. But you know what I could say about Hulk Hogan though? His scapegoat, like, you know what it is, because he was popular, and he was. Hulk Hogan was beloved, right? The crowd loved Hulk Hogan. The crowd cheered for Hulk Hogan. The merchandise sales was over the top. Ticket sales would go up. Everything went up. Ratings went up. Everything went, like, with Hulk Hogan, it was just, it made business sense. So you could say, oh, he was an asshole. He buried this guy, he buried that guy, and all these stories, most of them are true. But at the very least, you can say he was extremely popular and beloved by the fans. Now let's talk about Shawn Michaels, right? You know, there's been rumors out there that Shawn Michaels and Vince, you know, they had a little bit of a thing. Is it true? Is it not? I don't know. Rumors, right? You know, rumors. And Shawn Michaels always got his way. Almost always, right? I mean, it was Vince, you know, convince Vince, okay, we got to take the title off Diesel, or, you know, we're going to give it to you, right? And the way they did it, they had Bret Hart beat Diesel, and then we're going to have you win it at WrestleMania. Now, you could say, well, maybe that was just the right push, and it was at the time. But when it came down to Shawn Michaels putting over Bret Hart, when Bret Hart came back, which was the agreement, Shawn Michaels didn't do it. He vacated the title. And Vince let him do it. You know how many times Shawn Michaels was allowed to vacate the title because he didn't want to put somebody over? Look it up. Shawn Michaels, all right, almost. He was refusing. All right, he was flat out refusing to drop the title. All right, the title. I'm losing my fucking voice. Right, talking about this shit. But he was refusing to drop the title. All right, to Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14. Flat out refusing. From what I understand, The Undertaker literally told him, if you don't put him over, I'm going to beat your ass. And The Undertaker's a big dude, right? And I'm not talking kayfabe here. Like, literally whoop his ass backstage. That's the only reason Shawn Michaels went out there to do the job, right? That's the only fucking reason. How can you not put over Stone Cold? At that time, Stone Cold was so red hot that time. I mean, he had to put him over, right? There hadn't been a popular superstar like that for years. And we're talking a prime Hulk Hogan in the mid '80s for that someone that popular. But you know what I could say about Shawn Michaels though, even with all those shenanigans, you know, refusing to put guys over and vacating titles because he just didn't feel like wrestling anymore, and then would just come back and get the title back, right? You know, refusing to put Bret Hart over, and you know what I could say about Shawn though? Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest ring performers of all time. All right, Shawn Michaels was phenomenal in the ring, and he was pretty good in the mic too. All right, he was a very good performer, and he was popular. He wasn't as popular as Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold or not like that, you know, but he was decently popular. And amongst wrestling purists, you know, he's up there. A lot of wrestlers today that became wrestlers, you know, their hero was Shawn Michaels. Who else? Who else had strings that could push on Vince? Stone Cold did. The Rock did, right? They did. These guys pushed their weight around. Stone Cold refused to put Brock Lesnar over on SmackDown, right? And walked out on an event he was scheduled for, right? Which is very unprofessional. Anybody else did that, they would never set foot in the WWE ever again. Stone Cold was back in a couple months, all right? And was still being pushed and everything. Now, Stone Cold's argument was, well, if I'm going to put Brock Lesnar over, we got to do this at a pay-per-view. I'm not going to do it on SmackDown, right? It was Raw or SmackDown, whatever it was, right? He didn't want to do it. You know, fair enough. And then there's John Cena, right? And you got Triple H. Triple H has been known to weasel his way around shit backstage. I mean, he weaseled his way between the owner's daughter's legs. So, you know, he's a good weasel. You know, but, you know, I could say Triple H is good on the mic. You know, he has talent. I could say John Cena, as much as I don't like the guy, I don't. At one time, when John Cena first became champion, he was very popular, right? John Cena was very popular when he first. I mean, I still remember the night after he first won a title. I mean, the arena was going crazy. He was over. I didn't get it. I didn't like him, but I got it. He was over though. I'm like, wow, these people actually love this guy. And till this day, I mean, after all these years, yeah, sure. A lot of people are just tired of seeing him, that they're ready for something new. Okay. Even a lot of his fan base is dwindling down, but I guess at least 40% of the audience on any given night love the guy. You know, you could say at least 40%, and sometimes a little over 50%, you know, love the guy for whatever reason, right? I don't get it, but, you know, he has fans. Roman Reigns, okay, for all the push he gets, I don't see it. I don't see the amazing in-ring performer. I don't see a guy that is drawing millions of people to televisions and, you know, oh, I got to buy the WWE network because Roman Reigns is in it. Like, no, like you don't see any of that, right? He's not a pay-per-view attraction. He's not anything. He's not good in the mic. He doesn't put on good matches. Any good match he's been on, he's been carried by unbelievable talents. AJ Styles made that match great, not him. What is it about Roman Reigns? He's never, like, the only time he was over was with the Shield. That's it. The Shield was over, not Roman Reigns. He's never gotten like this big, amazing ovation. When John Cena first won the Royal Rumble, the first time, the crowd went crazy. I hated it because I never liked John Cena. But I can acknowledge that he was over. When Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, everybody booed. They don't like the guy. Why is Vince hell-bent on this guy? Makes me wonder, is Vince envisioning something and he wants that vision to happen? It's got to happen this way. What is it? What is it? Because I don't get it. He's not talented in the ring. He's not talented on the mic. He doesn't draw people. What is it about him? Why is Vince hell-bent on this guy? What does Roman Reigns do for Vince? Oh, come on, man. It's irresponsible and, you know, to spread rumors like that. I'm just asking. Because, you know, if Vince doesn't want rumors like that spreading, then maybe he should stop pushing Roman Reigns. All right? How about that? Seriously. I mean, this dude, nobody likes him. No one likes Roman Reigns. The more and more you push this guy, the worse and worse the product gets. I don't get it, right? It's time to cut him, right? Put him in the undercard. He needs to lose to Kevin Owens. He shouldn't be pushed. Nobody wants to see him in the main event. Nobody wants to see him win all the time either. This Superman persona, these Superman characters, man, they get fucking old. The guys that kick out of everything and every finisher and overcome everything and all obstacles, it gets old, right? So they do it with Cena. They're trying to do it with Reigns. And it's not working, right? I don't get it. Maybe somebody could tell me, well, what is it about Roman Reigns that stands out? Well, he's a big, strong guy. Well, he's not the biggest, strongest guy in the roster, so what do you mean? He's not good in the mic? What does he do that is so amazing? He only has like 4 moves. Well, what does he do? Oh, he does a spear. Oh, a spear. Anybody could do a spear, right? If anything, you guys do know this, right? The one getting hit with a spear does the most work. He's the one that has to sell the move, make it look devastating and shit. Do you know that? Are you dumb? You're not that dumb, are you? What what does he have on Vince? Why is like why can't Vince just bury this dude already? What is it? I don't get it. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe it's like because he's related to The Rock or something, right? Like, but because you're related to somebody, like what? Stupid. No, but he's related to The Rock, man. He wants to stay, in good terms. You think The Rock cares, right? Like you think, like, oh my God, you made Roman Reigns be a mid carder. I'm never going back to the WWE. Like, what? You think The Rock cares? The Rock doesn't care, right? The Rock's in the gym or filming movies all the time. That's what The Rock is doing, right? The Rock doesn't give a shit if his cousin gets a push. Are you kidding me? The Rock, if we know he sucks, The Rock knows he sucks. Okay? Get the hell out of here. Roman Reigns. Like straight out of the Shield, this dude was being pushed for main events. Just straight out of it. Yep, let's make him win the Royal Rumble. Like, well, what? Like, you're not even going to make this guy like earn his way up? Like, he doesn't even have to win the crowd over? You're just going to, we'll make the crowd love him. The shit ain't working, man. It's not working. And, you keep doing the same shit over and over again. It's not going to, like, Vince is expecting a different results or something. Like, just tomorrow we're all going to wake up and love Roman Reigns or something. Yeah, I love guys that aren't talented. Everything you're taught about the business, you got to work on the mic. You got to be a good in-ring performer, win the crowd over. I mean, if you're a wrestler, you got to look at that and be like, man, that doesn't even matter. It's just whoever Vince likes, If Vince has a fascination with you, he'll push you to the moon. But at least before, he had the decency of getting somebody that actually had some talent. Now he's just picking like fucking Roman Reigns. What does he have? Nothing. Stupid. If people are going to come out here, come on, man, be fair. Roman Reigns put on some good matches. Let's say I take that statement at face value, right? Number one, isn't his job as a performer, okay, isn't it his job to have good matches? You would think, nah? Like having a good match is kind of like the thing he needs to do. No? Like, you don't think that's something he should do? I mean, come on. Seriously. He has to have good matches. But if you know wrestling, he's the one being carried. Come on, he's the one being carried throughout the matches, man. Right? That main event with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, the whole thing was Lesnar suplexing him and him smiling the whole time. That was the match. What a terrible match. I mean, just terrible. Right? It's terrible. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, right? Speaking of that guy, I mean, holy shit, have his matches sucked lately. All right? I mean, if Brock Lesnar doesn't want to put on a good match, if he doesn't want to bother, all right, I mean, it's like he was okay with getting smashed by Goldberg in a minute because he just wanted to collect the check. It was an easy check for him. But if he's not going to bother putting on good matches, which I know he's capable of, then the WWE needs to just let him go, right? It's a waste of $6 million. They're paying this dude $6 million a year for 4 matches a year, and his match with Dean Ambrose was terrible. He's been putting on some terrible matches. If Lesnar's not going to take this shit serious, let him go. With $6 million, you know how many superstars you could sign for that? I mean, you could sign some pretty good wrestlers that are wrestling in New Japan and Ring of Honor and all that, dozens of them, right, for that money, right? But anyway, I'm digressing, man. I just don't get it. I don't get this Roman Reigns push. I haven't gotten it for the last 3 years, and I have a feeling it's not going anywhere. You know, they're just hell bent on making people like this guy, and it's so disgusting. Look, man, I still remember with John Cena. I mean, they would have John Cena with in the ring with kids that have cancer and breast cancer survivors, and with wounded warriors and stuff like that. You know, and I would look at that in all honesty, and I would be fucking disgusted because I knew all that was not because the WWE cares about, you know, about these people, but because they just wanted to put John Cena over, right? You know, and they would always do this when John Cena was getting booed the most, just to make people like John Cena. Now, they haven't gone this far with Roman Reigns yet, but if they start going this far with Roman Reigns, then, I mean, I'm going to have no choice but to just literally stop watching the product. Right? No, man, you're being unfair, you know, to the victims. And let me tell you something, okay? If they want to put on a commercial or something about this, that's fine. I don't have a problem with WWE donating money to charities and this, that, and the third. But when you put a wrestler that nobody likes, right, and you only feature that wrestler and no other ones, with kids that have cancer, breast cancer survivors, wounded warrior troops, right? I mean, if you don't see what they're trying to do, maybe those people are oblivious to it. Maybe they think, oh, look, because they probably don't even watch wrestling that much. They think, oh, look, oh, yeah, John Cena, he's the WWE champion or whatever he was at the time. You know, it's disgusting just to put a guy over. And that's not what the business is about, okay? You don't get somebody over with real tragic events. That's not what you do, right? They got to get over with their in-ring performances. That's how they get over. With the storylines that and kayfabe, that's the way you get over. You know, and the WWE has pulled all the stops with Cena, and it was still rejected, by the way. They would stop booing for those segments, but as soon as those people were not there, they go back to booing them. So, and I think, and if you notice, they stopped doing it after a while. People were calling them out on it, and they just completely stopped. All of a sudden, they started featuring all the wrestlers, you know, like all of a sudden. So, I'm just saying. But anyway, I don't know. I really hope that it's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the WWE is playing on people's emotions right now. Like, oh, yeah, they think we're going to push Roman Reigns, so they're going to tune in to see if he loses, and they are. But make him lose. Reigns has to lose. You can't have both Reigns and Cena win. You can't. I mean, people will lose their minds if that happens. At the very least, I could say Cena put AJ Styles over clean, right, at SummerSlam. So, okay, fine. He could beat AJ Styles this time. You know, he's lost 3 times to him. Like, I get it. Roman Reigns hasn't put over, all right, Kevin Owens. So why the fuck should Kevin Owens put him over? Every single time they have a match, he's beating Kevin Owens. All right, so I think Kevin Owens should win it. But we'll see, right? We really will. Well, that's it. I'm out.